not happy with the direction of Sony.
IP that they're just sitting on. Games from the PS2, PS3 era. Even earlier, I guess you could say really early PS4 games.
No more PS4 games, man. What is the point of the PlayStation 5 being backwards compatible if all you people want is remasters and remakes from that generation, bro? I get it. The PS4 was so great. Let the generation be over, man. I'm sick and tired of seeing PS4 games on the PlayStation 5 platform.
You know, a lot of people talk about Bloodborne. And it's like,
I mean, at this point, you might as well call it the Remake Station 5.
Tell people, guys, Sony will be doing stuff with Bloodborne.
Yeah, we know that.
They're doing it now.
And what's even more funny about that, it's going to be the same exact game, bro. Like, come on, man. And y'all want to sit there and say, Xbox got no games, bro? When all you PlayStation fanboys is doing is playing the same exact games from last generation?
They're saving Bloodborne for the PlayStation 6.
Y'all have become worse than the Nintendo community when it comes to remasters and recycled games. I mean, imagine that.
I know that there are people who don't want to hear that, but that's just the truth. If you want more Bloodborne, stop by when Sony starts talking about the PlayStation 6. I guarantee you'll hear about Bloodborne.
Who cares about Bloodborne, man? What about a sequel to it, man? Why does it got to be a remaster or a remake to an old game? Why can't you PlayStation fanboys get sequels?
But that's my biggest problem, right? Is it's just there's so many other games. It's like I put out a tweet where I said I even prefer at this point a Killzone Shadowfall remaster.
Now, why would Sony do that, man? Considering that game failed. To be honest with you, I don't really care. I want these games to come back, like a Killzone 1, 2, and 3. I mean, at this point, Sony should just revitalize the service for Shadowfall and let people just still continue to play it. But no, I don't think that game needs a remaster, or should I say a remake. I mean, if I really had to, I'd say maybe the first game, maybe the trilogy series, maybe, and they could have combined it in one game. That would be pretty massive. But come on, man, I'm tired of these remasters and remakes, man. All Sony got to do is bring those games back for the PS4 and 5, bring back the online service that they terminated, and there you go. That's enough for me to be happy. I personally don't care, because what people are not, oh, well, why would you want that instead of them just remastering and remaking one of the games in the series? Because I want to be able to enjoy the story as well as all the other games in the franchise. You know what I mean? I don't want a Dead Space situation where we got a remake to the first game and then, we still got to find out about the second and the third game because those games haven't got remastered, remade yet. Why would you charge $60 for one game when you could have $60 for all three? Or should I say 4? They might even add Shadowfall. That to me sounds more of a better deal.
That would sound more exciting to me than a Horizon Zero Dawn remaster. And Killzone Shadowfall was still a PS4 game. But at least it would feel like something kind of different.
No, it wouldn't. It's the same game. And what's even more laughable, you could still play Shadowfall right now. And you can play the game at 60 FPS. Because it's updated to play at 60 FPS on the PS5. Bro, I'm sorry, man. You ponies is down bad for this, man. I don't want to hear you guys ever say that Xbox ain't got no games, bro. The fact that we're even talking about Killzone Shadowfall, a game that came out in 2013 for the PS4, means that you guys are still caught up on the PS4 generation, man. Let it go. It's fine. Who cares, bro? I mean, at the end of the day, can we get sequels to a lot of these beloved franchises? Why they gotta be remasters and remakes? Oh, I know why. Because Sony can't afford to put, AAA budget games anymore. That's exactly what's going on here. They don't have the funds to be able to do what you people want.
It's like in the midst of getting, so many remakes and so many remasters, some of which were great, others were just kind of questionable, but generally
all this, man, this is definitely giving me a reason as to why I should upgrade to the PS5 Pro so I can continue to play my old PS4 games remastered. Like, man, I gotta have them remastered twice. It's already bad enough that you're taking an old game and enhancing it, and now Sony's like, okay, you want to enhance the enhancement? Like, what is this, bro? Like, you got to ask yourself, man, and y'all want to sit there and talk about, Microsoft and how they go about business. This is by far the worst that I've ever seen a gaming company do to their consumers, bro. And all you people out here defending it, man, that's even more ridiculous.
Speaking, it's like, I'd rather take that right now, man. Would it be cool?
I mean, if that's the case, bro, then that means you PlayStation gamers have no games, bro. Like, how you gonna sit there and talk about how you got a console war, and you out here talking about how we got Killzone Shadowfall being remastered? I thought PlayStation Fanboys was all about ammunition, right? I thought y'all were about that, man, when it comes to console wars. Like, yo, yeah. Like, are you really, like, just say, for example, if they did do something like that, how you guys are going to look on Twitter saying, hey, yeah, we got Shadowfall for the PS5 remade? These Xbox dudes and Nintendo Switch owners are going to laugh at you. Are you serious, bro? A game from 2013, nothing new? Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, bro, you guys are getting suckered.
We get like a remaster collection of Killzone 1 through 3? Yeah,
that would be perfect, and bring back the online service. I would definitely be on board with that.
Be amazing. Why not? Why not?
But see, the problem is, if Sony does decide to do that, they're going to take out one of the best key components of the game, which happens to be online. They did it with Uncharted 4. They could have updated the multiplayer, had the multiplayer look just as good as the campaign, but no, they gave you the old multiplayer. They could have enhanced it. You feel me? It's just like, what is the point of what Sony's doing, man? They're removing a lot of key features out of their games. They did it with The Last of Us, what was it, remake? Like, people still play the PS4 version because it has online multiplayer. Why did you not add online multiplayer to that remake? But then you charge $70, even though there's less content in the game. Come on, bro. Come on.
I don't know, man. It just feels so... You know, people were telling me, well, maybe it's like, it's sales, right? He's starting to question more than anybody, genuinely, is Herman Holst. I'm really, really starting to question as we originally were.
Yep.
I don't know. We're going to find out.
Oh, well, I already told you, man. We already found out. Take your PS5s and trade them into GameStop and go pick up a PC or Xbox Series X, man. There's really no point for a PlayStation, man, if you're telling me that the best games that you guys got coming is PS4 games but remastered. Come on now.
Be the Horizon studio.
Well, that's exactly what they became. Same thing with Santa Monica. Have you noticed Santa Monica only really focuses on God of War? Guerrilla only focuses on, They only focus on Horizon. And then you got Insomniac that focus on 2, Ratchet and Clank and superhero games. Like, that's how bad Sony has gotten, bro. Sony has no originality anymore, and I feel bad for anybody still continuing to play on PlayStation.
You know, that doesn't sound very fun. Just like I don't want to see Sucker Punch just be the Ghost of Tsushima studio permanently.
Well, that's what it is, man. What about Infamous, you know? Like, I thought when Sony was adding these other additional franchises, I thought they would have still kept the ones available. Like, okay, we got Spider-Man, but we still have Infamous. No. If anything, they just took these games in favor of the ones that you guys was playing.
Or
that's sad. That's like saying, why can't we have Halo and Gears?
Kind of ways we can make this work in our favor.
How so?
But
yeah, by buying an Xbox.
Only under very specific circumstances. You think that's an absurd notion? That's surprising. That's surprising. You think it's a... People bring up the fact that Nintendo has been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, but Nintendo still comes out with some form of new games, man. You know, they have been indulging in those re-releases. I'm not going to lie, especially as of lately, probably because they're trying to expand the longevity of the Nintendo Switch, man. But Nintendo still did offer some of their own new games into the frail. Sony's not doing that, man. You look at the PlayStation 5 and Sony's best games happen to be remasters or remakes. Like, it's embarrassing, bro. Like, you can't even say to yourself, I don't care how many hardware sales you people got, bro, but when it comes down to games, y'all ain't got them.
You know, the whole idea of, like, milking franchises and remastering games and re-releasing games.
Yeah.
I even saw, I think it was Gaming Survivor earlier, he was like, guys, how come nobody really cared when Nintendo basically remastered the entire Wii U catalog?
I was one of the first people calling that out. People know, if you've been following my channel for quite some time, you know that I was one of the first few people that was calling that out about how the Switch has so many Wii U releases and everything. You know what I mean? But hey, but the Wii U was a dying console. There's no reason for Sony to take games, well, they weren't really that successful on PS4, but a console, right, that had over 100 million PS4s out there and take games from that generation. So, I mean, even though it's kind of still damage control, a lot of people didn't play these games on Wii U because the Wii U didn't sell that well. So, in some cases, that does kind of make sense, right? You know, not to cap for it, but in Sony's situation, No. There's no reason for them to do this. And another reason, backwards compatibility. Bro, come on, bro. I just destroyed your whole argument. There's no reason for Killzone or none of these games to get remastered or remade when all Sony got to do is a free update for Bloodborne and have the game run at 60. And they can increase the resolution too if they wanted to. Come on, bro. You don't need no remastered game for that. That should be entirely for free.
And, like charged full price for it. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess that is a thing that kind of happened. I mean, I guess it's somewhat of a unique situation because the Wii U, it's just like failed so bad. Like
exactly. It's so funny how I say things before they even get a chance to say it.
About those games or like what even happened there, but
he's hurt, bro. This man is broken, bro. The PlayStation community is in shambles.
Yeah,
all they can do is damage control. Spew their frustration, and I already know they're gonna find a way to blame Microsoft for all this. I
don't know. I guess in a way you could say that Sony is maybe beginning to show that they are much more serious now. I mean, we use the term milking their franchise, but I guess Nintendo kind of has revealed that quadrupling down on your franchises and just constantly
because Nintendo does bring out some new games. Mario Odyssey, Breath of Wild, Tears of Kingdom, Pikmin 4. So when you sit there and say that, oh yeah, I mean, I do get that Nintendo reuses a lot of these same franchises, but Super Mario Bros. Wonder, these are new games, man. As much as I don't really care for all of them, they are new games. The new Zelda game, that's kind of new. Not really for it, but it's new. It's the same franchise, but it's new. You know what I mean? So you can't sit there and say that in regards to Nintendo. I mean, yeah, Nintendo uses the same iconic franchises, but they use them in different games. You don't be seeing Nintendo being like, okay, I mean, Nintendo has done it too, man, but I'm just trying to say that Nintendo also has new games that stand out from the remasters and remakes. You had Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Not Dark Moon, no, what was it? Luigi's Mansion 3. Now they decided to bring back 2. They're probably going to re-release 1, pretty recently. So there you go. So Nintendo has indulged in this, but when the Switch came out, they brought out new games. Astro's Chain, you know what I mean? Daemon X Machina. Come on, bro. You can't even... Bro, this is a night and day difference, man. You want to sit there and talk about a night and day difference with the Pro? This is a night and day difference comparison because the Nintendo Switch had way more games and still has more games than what the PlayStation 5 can offer. Because all your games are just re-released games from the last generation, which happened to be PS4. There's no excuse as to why these games should exist, especially when the PS5 is backwards compatible with the same PS4 games that you people have already played.
Ghost of Tsushima, Uncharted.
Yeah, but where's the sequels? See, that's what you don't understand. We are asking for sequels to these games. We're not asking for the same game. Ghost of Tsushima 2. Yes, I don't mind if Sony milks like what Nintendo's doing by putting Mario in every single game. Or Mario, he's golfing, he's in a party, he's around the cart. Mario is around the world, 3D world. Now he's traveling the Odyssey. I get it. I get what you're saying in that. But these are all different types of games, though. You following me? PlayStation, bro, Horizon, whatever this game is the same exact game from the PS4. That's what you people don't understand. Now, I know you got Lego Horizons. That's different. I mean, I guess you can add that as a different type of game. But, man, this is what people are talking about. It's like, Sony, if you want to milk your games, milk them with sequels. Milk them with sequels. Milk them with prequels. Microsoft does it, Gears E-Day? That's a prequel before Emergence Day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, that's kind of a form of milking in a way. But hey, at least it's something new and something new that gamers can look forward to. You're not getting that with the PlayStation 5. And that's what people are trying. You're getting Bloodborne. Okay, you get a remastered Bloodborne. It's the same exact game. You get a remastered Killzone. It's the same exact game. Where's the sequels? Where's the prequels? Where's something new that people can sit there and say to themselves, yeah, I want to try this out. You got Uncharted 4, remastered. Until Dawn, remade. Bro, it's the same exact games. It's the same exact games, bro.
Horizon, God of War, and they just keep going and going and going.
No, that's not true because God of War, we're not seeing any prequels. We're just seeing a continuation of Kratos' story as we see it, and that's it. Sony ain't pumping out God of Wars like that because we should be already playing the new one then, if that's the case. But all you guys are doing is playing God of War Ragnarok again on PC. It's embarrassing, man.
And going. It's like, Nintendo, I guess, kind of has proven that it is a viable path forward to do that.
No, not the way Sony's doing it. So you're not listening, bro. It's not like he can hear me anyway, but he's not understanding. It's not that, bro. Yes, we get Nintendo milk a lot of their games. We are fully aware of that. But there's games that Nintendo do come out with that are different than its predecessor. Super Mario Bros. Wonder, for an example. Yeah, they put the new Super Mario Bros., but then they got Wonder. You got different types of styles of Mario. Are you starting to understand what I'm trying to say? Just like the new Legend of Zelda is a different style or a different approach on the original formula, which means that it can stand on its 2 feet. This is what you're not understanding, bruh. And then on top of that, Nintendo has focused on sequels. Luigi's Mansion 3, Odyssey. They have focused on actual sequels. Sony hasn't. You see Horizon, whatever, West, and you're like, oh, it's the same version on PS4, except it got all the DLC, and it's got the little bit bells and whistles of the updates of the PS5. That is it, bro. To be honest with you, PS5, you know why PS5's trash? Because it reminds you of a PC, because that's what you do with PC. You play the same games and you update them. That's what it is, bro. PS5 is nothing but a PC.
And
without the features.
It is, when you talk about, Josh, you say like new IP is very risky. That's absolutely true. And that's the thing that
not for Microsoft and Nintendo.
Can't wait to see from Sony. Because I'm telling you, man, like,
I'm hurt right now.
When Sony finally has a couple of their bigger studios show new IP, it's going to shut pretty much everybody up.
No, it's not. Because Sony can't afford to take these losses. It's so funny that he says this, but weren't 2 weeks you guys was crying about Concord? Once Sony shows that they can do a AAA game and they're going to shut everybody up. They're going to... Concord exists. Well, it did. What about that?
For a little while. Which is good, because if people are being shut up, that means something good has happened. Something that people have been asking for. And this is where, like...
It's like this, man. When I used to play football, I used to play the line, right? Defensive line and offensive line, right? That's why that was my position. I could have played linebacker as well. But when I used to play football, right? And I used to tell the coach, I get no credit. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing the coach told me, he says, if they're not saying anything bad about you, you're doing your job. So that's why I took it as. I was like, okay, they're giving the credit to the man that's throwing the football, but they ain't giving credit for the people that are protecting them. Now you guys starting to see what I'm saying? So like I said, that's something that psychologically, I'm like, man, that's crazy, bro. I'm the one doing all the work. This man just sitting there throwing a ball behind us. This dude ain't, but my coach had to explain, like, hey, your job is just as pivotal as his, and you know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys, bro. You know what I mean? This type of stuff that y'all doing is ridiculous, bro. It's about time you guys start addressing the problem, because even though he's talking negatively about PlayStation, he's still doing it in a way where it's positive. No, you got to let these people have it, man. Let them have it.
As long as Sony doesn't abandon the creation of new IP in favor of just milking franchises.
They kind of have, though. How many re-releases do you have, bro? They kind of have already.
That's right.
We wouldn't be
talking. As long as they don't abandon that.
They have already abandoned it.
And I guess really, it's not that big of a deal.
See, this is what I'm trying to tell you, man. These people don't want to admit the truth in reality. Sony has already abandoned the idea. What is wrong with you people?
They want to keep growing. I mean, we see it as milking, but they see it as growing, right? And I guess maybe that is what it is at the end of the day.
But I thought Sony cared about its consumers. When did Sony become like Microsoft?
Working. There's nothing wrong with that.
There is a lot of wrong with it. What are you talking about? As a gamer, there's a lot of wrong with it, bro. How you sympathizing with Sony? Because if Microsoft, if they had games like Gears 5 Remastered, Halo 4 Remastered, y'all would be bashing Xbox to oblivion. So nobody want to hear this, bro. Because if this was Xbox and all they was doing, so Rise Southern Rome, which I think would be pretty awesome with a remake, but I'm just saying, right, especially with those type of graphics, y'all would be bashing it. Oh, why is Microsoft focusing on Xbox One games and bringing them back for the Xbox Series X? Y'all would be saying that. So keep that same energy, and people are sick and tired of you ponies advocating for these remasters and remakes, man. Because that's all you people are playing, and what's even more funny, y'all were doing this even during the PS4 generation. It just started to get worse and worse and worse to now the point where, like, oh, wow, now it's becoming really noticeable.
long as it's not coming at the expense. And I understand the argument that some people make, but I think the argument that some people make, they don't realize that you're going to fail if you do that.
Nintendo's not failing. Microsoft's not failing. So you're just admitting that Sony's going under. Because the fact that you Sony fanboys don't even have confidence in Sony bringing out the same AAA games that Microsoft's doing shows you inherently inside yourself that Sony's done. You just admitted it, bro. Like, as much as you people want to hold on to the fact that Sony's still around, and for the time being, they're gonna stay here for a while, mostly due to Grand Theft Auto 6 and subscription money, and that's it. But when it comes down to the true essence, the true meaning of why you picked up a PlayStation 5 platform, that is gone. It is gone. That's why Microsoft put their games on their Trojan horse in y'all. Y'all are dumb, bro. Y'all fell for the trap.
Like 9 times out of 10, you're going to fail if you do that. It is too risky. Where people are saying, well, look, Sony should just make it so that there's like a cutoff where we're done here. And now
they're not, because these remasters and remakes don't cost Sony that much money, and they're hoping for this game to be as successful as it did when it dropped on PS4, man. This is the wishful thinking that Sony's got going on, and who's to say? I don't even know if it's going to work, because people are going to look at their PS4 version and be like, why am I buying this one for PS5?
Every studio is going to move on to something new. It's like, that's insanity.
Well, first off, you got to understand that it takes time to move on to something new. This doesn't take time. This doesn't take any real time or energy or any resources, because the game has already been made.
Like, that would be just straight up bad business.
They can't even cap no more.
A more appropriate way, a more reasonable way to handle it is, if we have very successful franchises that people are happy with, grow those franchises.
Well, what do you think they're doing by re-releasing the same old franchise games? That's what they're trying to do, right? And also, too, by as well putting these games on PC. Sony has already shifted towards PC gaming, man. You guys are holding on to a pipe dream. Sony is PC now, man. They're probably more PC than Xbox, because at least with Microsoft says, we treat Xbox the same like we do PC. We put Hellblade 2, put it on PC as well as Xbox. They treated their... It's so funny that you guys say that Microsoft don't treat their console counterpart the same as their PC brethren, but in reality, they do. Games get dropped on PC and Xbox day and date. No favorites. No favorites. No favoritism. Nothing of that nature. PlayStation, on the other hand, you guys are getting a delayed in games because PC gamers got to play catch up. That's why they're doing it. God of War Ragnarok just got a release date, just released on PC. Okay? Y'all playing catch up. They're making this Forbidden West version, Forbidden Horizon game for PC. And I think, didn't they release the PS4 version already on there? Man, bro. I don't know what to tell you guys about Sony, man. This is embarrassing.
But we don't want all of our studios working on sequels or spin-offs or remasters or remakes.
I mean, that's actually a lot better than what they're doing with these games.
We need to have a certain amount of our studios always working on new stuff as well.
That's going to take time. That's going to take money out of Sony's budget. And these are the things that Sony don't have, that they can't afford. Sony has finally hit their cap. It's the same thing with the Dreamcast. It's not that Dreamcast couldn't have a successful console. It sold 11 million in 1 year and 8 months. That's pretty good if you ask me. But the problem is the fact that they just didn't have the money. And Sony's running out of funds. See, the reason why Nintendo still exists, because they stalled the inevitable. They knew this was going to come to a point where they wouldn't be able to fund games the way they do in Microsoft. Now, Nintendo's going to probably bring out some bigger budget games now. Nintendo, you know what I mean? It's like the turtle. You know, y'all were looking at Sony. Sony was going so fast and doing everything so well. Y'all was looking at the rabbit, but y'all didn't see the turtle. And the turtle just came right behind you, and they just took over first place. You know what I mean? It's exactly like the turtle and the rabbit.
Kind of splitting it up. That's the
Sony was going too fast for their own good.
Way to go about it. Because you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and that's PC.
I understand that a lot of people who are not paying attention do not understand that that is in fact what Sony's doing.
Do you understand?
I understand that if they haven't shown you anything and they haven't talked to you about anything, then how are you supposed to know that they're making new stuff? I get it.
Man, I'm done with this, man. This man capping for 3 or 4 hours, bro. Hopefully, you guys enjoy this video, man. Like I said, take care. Peace out.